Well, Oscars happened. I am eating egg on my face happily because I predicted Anora to win 0 awards, and it won 5. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actress, and Best Editing. Sean Baker won 4 awards himself, tying Walt Disney for the most Academy Awards of the year. Not Academy Award of the Year, the most Academy Awards in a single award show of all time. I'm a bit tipsy. I was live streaming the Oscars. I've been watching the Oscars. I've been celebrating Anora, and you can see that back there with my pink nanoleafs there. But green is for all of those who are championing I'm Still Here, Fernando Torres, because it took home International Feature, and voila, that movie is my favorite movie of 2025, and it deserved it. But let's talk about the Oscar ceremony as a whole, because this Oscars had some major high points in terms of Anora winning, in terms of some of the categories and the speeches we had, and some major down points, like a pointless James Bond situation, and the music being played on so many people giving speeches. When I think of the Oscars, I think of awards and allowing those people to be celebrated in the ways they did. And tonight we saw major award wins. For Anora, you took home 5. The Brutalist took home 3. Best Actor with Adrian Brody, Best Cinematography, and Best Score. The winners of taking home 2 Oscars were Emilia Perez for Best Song and Best Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana, Dune Part 2 for Visual Effects and Sound, and Wicked for Best Production Design and Costume Design. The single award wins on the movie sides, the feature film sides, you have I'm Still Here for Best International Feature, Conclave for Best Adapted Screenplay, you have The Substance for Best Hair and Makeup, and A Real Pain for Best Supporting Actor. And that kind of rounds up all of the awards that aren't animated or short films. The animated film went to Flow, and the short films and documentary films are always a toss-up, though I will say No Other Land winning was such a great happiness for me. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but knowing where it comes from, and knowing that people may get upset at political speeches, but both this being a joint Israeli and Palestinian documentary talking about the people who live in those lands, I'm okay with them making political commentary, because they should be making political commentary about that situation more than any of us in the United States. But the Oscars, they were a good time. And I am so happy to be ending up 14 out of 9. 14 correct picks, 9 wrong picks. A complete disaster compared to previous years, but I enjoyed it. Whether it was the opening sequence, that was Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo with their multiple songs, Multitudes, ending with a great Divine Gravity live, to Conan O'Brien having a skit that had him coming out of Demi Moore's Substance character from the movie. Conan O'Brien was great throughout. His opening monologue maybe went a little bit long with the musical act, but the rest of it, between all the different type of jokes he came up with, leading into different awards, was absolutely sensational. None of the actual presenters, I think, were outstanding in any type of way that was too memorable, but I'm okay with that. What I will say is almost all the speeches I found to be pretty great. Kieran Culkin has been giving, I would think, snoozers for most of the season. So for him to give what I think has been his best speech, an all-around great speech at the Oscars, chef's kiss. So happy to see Kieran Culkin get that right. Zoe Saldana, I think, gave a great speech. Adrian Brody shushing the music. I'm telling you, the Oscars are about the awards. We need to get more clips, and we need to allow people to speak when they win these awards. What we don't need are musical performances to The Wiz, which I understand Quincy Jones passing away is a big film director that matters to a community, and he deserved his own type of a segment. But a musical performance with Queen Latifah, I don't know about that. The James Bond performance altogether, feels so weird since Amazon bought James Bond now. I know it had a 60th anniversary, but Why was that in place of the Oscars? There is like a 10-minute chunk you could take out if you're worried about running long. I don't think Americans in general are too grasping their straws at watching James Bond type stuff. I just want these award shows to let the people speak, to show the clips of the acting performances, which we got for Best Actor and Best Actress, but we didn't get for Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress. And it is a little bit odd when you see Divine Joy Randolph like looking at a teleprompter as she reads it, because you realize these words may be hers, may not be hers, but just give us the clips of these brilliant actors and their performances, whether it be Ariana Grande for Wicked, Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez, Kieran Culkin for A Complete Unknown, Yura Borisov for Anora. We need more clips. I do think the song and the way they presented song worked very well, but man, playing the music off, so I was happy that Adrian Brody cut them off and said, let me speak more. He got a little bit political, but hey, he's a repeat winner. I think repeat winners will always find a way to try and make more with their stance. And then Mikey Madison won for Anora. And there is the story of the night. Sean Baker wins 4 Academy Awards for producing Anora, directing Anora, editing Anora, and screenwriting Anora. Mikey Madison, in her 20s, the best performance of 2024, wins Best Actress for Anora. And the film that won the Joshker is winning 2 back-to-back years for best movies, taking home those prizes. Maybe it should be a precursor people pay attention to. It really shouldn't, but and Anora itself, 5 Oscar wins. Anora is a great movie in my opinion. I think the characters feel real and fleshed out. I think the second act of the movie is one of my favorite second acts I've seen in such a long time. And tonight mirrored another movie, from Neon in particular, Parasite. Bong Joon-ho and Parasite won 4 Academy Awards, editing, screenplay, director. I think it won screenplay, won international film, and Best Picture. It didn't win screenplay, but it won 4 Oscar awards, including Best Picture, and it was from Neon. And tonight, Anora kind of repeated up the same thing, except with Best Actress with Mikey Madison. This film is just so good. 5 out of 6 wins. It started the season as a frontrunner. People wondered if the Brutalist and Emilia Perez were taking it over, but at the end of the day, it ended up still being Sean Baker and Anora. And Sean Baker had an amazing speech talking about the importance of movie theaters and people going to watch movies in theaters. And as somebody who reviews a lot of movies, who sees a lot of movies, I can't help but agree. Now here locally, Aura Regal has updated the One Big Theater in Boise to include recliners and hopefully a better theatrical experience. I personally think we need better screens. That means updating movie screens to Dolby or IMAX, because that's what people feel is a difference maker for their money. And I just think movies are best experienced in theaters, and we as a culture need to do a better job finding ways to get our friends and family going out there more. And I loved Sean Baker's speech about that. But yeah, he ties now Walt Disney for the most Oscars won in the same ceremony with 4. Whew. And I think even though Conclave only won 1 award for Best Adapted Screenplay, to me, Conclave was clear number 2 this season. Maybe you could argue the Brutalist with wins and actor and, cinematography and score, but I just think Conclave is actually the number 2 movie on these ballots. But yeah, a really fun time at the Oscars. I had an absolute blast. For all the fans of I'm Still Here, you won an international feature. Celebrate it. Vamos Brazil. Brazil deserved that win. If you're a Anora fan like myself, well, one, hopefully you picked Anora in all these categories, because shame on me for giving it 0 potential. But I had a gut feeling going into this week that I didn't think Anora was actually going to happen. But I'm happy to be wrong. It took home 5 Oscars. And I'm going to go drink and celebrate the rest of the night because Anora was my favorite film of last year. I loved Mikey Madison. She was my favorite performer of last year. And to see it take home 5 Oscars, I'm happy. When your favorite film wins the way it does like this, when it seemed like an underdog and it comes out with 5 out of 6, it's time to celebrate. So I'm going to go get a little bit tipsy the rest of the night and look forward to my content on Survivor, Mickey 17, future Oscar predictions, movies, all that stuff here on the channel. I love this ride. I love doing this for fun. Thank you to anybody who watches and subscribes. I need to go back to just doing this for fun and not caring about views. And tonight was a fun night.